If you want to know how to make the best banana bread, just keep watching this video because I have an awesome recipe for you. So, rule number one, making banana bread. Make sure your bananas look like this. If they're not this ripe, don't make banana bread. Anything else other than this color, this bruised, kind of old looking color, it's not gonna taste good. It's not gonna be sweet, it's not gonna have the right texture, and you're better off just waiting. Or if you're at the grocery store, you can always ask, the local produce clerk, hey, do you got any old bananas? I'm making banana bread. So that's my number one tip. Otherwise, if you have these bananas, this is the perfect time to make banana bread. Basically what I'm trying to say is used fucked up old bananas are the best. Get the kind that nobody wants to eat. That is really what you should be using for this recipe. All right, so let's get started. First of all, how cute is my apron? It's got wine-related pictures on it. So me. So what we're gonna do is take these ripe bananas. You can use up to 4, depending on how sweet you want this to be. So I'm gonna use 4. They're kind of smaller, on the smaller side. If they were a little bit bigger, maybe I would use 3, but just really up to you how sweet you want your banana bread to be. And I will be using pecans in this recipe. You don't have to. You can use anything you want or nothing at all. So maybe chocolate chips, fresh blueberries, walnuts. So there we go. We're gonna use 4. The rest of the bananas you can actually peel and freeze for later. They're great for smoothies. They're good for future banana bread, but I do prefer fresh. So I'm gonna just put these aside. Then you're gonna take a fork and smush them as much as you can. Actually, what makes this even better, screw the fork. We're just gonna use our hands. My hands are clean, obviously. So you just wanna make sure that it's completely all crushed. And then we're going to add in all of the wet ingredients in this. So wet ingredients means obviously nothing dry, like no flour, all that's gonna go in separately. So once my bananas are mushy and they look like this, I will be adding everything else. So just do this for about 30 seconds. Just make sure that everything is completely lump-free. Okay, BRB, I gotta go wash my hands. All right, so next we're gonna do eggs. So I'm gonna be using 2 eggs for this recipe. That's more than enough. Crack your 2 eggs in there. Oh man, I just dropped one. BRB, gotta go get another egg. All right, trying this one more time. Second egg. And we're gonna take a whisk and just mix everything all together so it becomes one uniform mixture. Mix, 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 mix. All right, so next you're gonna add in your sugar and your butter. I have butter here at room temperature. This is half a cup. I'm gonna leave a tiny bit, which we will use later for our pan. So I'll just put that aside and just continue mixing, and then we're gonna throw in the sugar, and then we'll be able to work with our dry ingredients. Next, preheat your oven to 415 degrees. I think I've mentioned this before. You really need to have a really good relationship with your oven to know what temperature will work. So I know for me, 415 degrees is good for banana bread, roasting chicken, roasting potatoes, but every oven's different, so it might take you a few tries to kind of gauge what's best for you. So now that all of the wet ingredients are mixed together, I've added the sugar in here, vanilla extract. We're ready to add our dry ingredients. So here is 1.5 cups of flour, as well as in here is a tablespoon of baking soda and just a little bit of salt. So that's all mixed in together. And I'm gonna dump that in here, and we're going to continue mixing. Now, I said before, I'm gonna be adding pecans to this, just because they're my favorite, but you can just, not add anything at all or add chocolate chips. If you do that, I suggest that you use dark chocolate chips used for baking, and maybe reduce the amount of sugar just so that it's not too sweet. Fresh blueberries are also awesome. Walnuts, just basically whatever floats your boat. So now that this mixture is a nice thick batter, I'm going to dump these. There's half a cup of pecans in here, and continue mixing it all together, and now we're ready to bake. So the baking dish that I'm using, it's just the standard loaf pan. I find that's the best. And I normally would spray it with Pam, however today I'm just going to be using the remainder of the butter just to coat it so nothing sticks. Alright, so the pan is greasy, and time to put this in and then bake everything. Whoa! Can't wait. Oh, don't eat the batter. I mean, I know it's tempting because it smells so great, but yeah, don't eat the batter.
Now throw this in the oven for 40 minutes.
So while you're waiting for your banana bread to bake, there's so many options. If you're anything like me, you probably made a huge mess in the kitchen. You can clean that up. You could call your friends and tell them you made banana bread. You can have a mimosa break. You could have a mimosa break while cleaning your kitchen and calling your friends at the same time. Okay, so it's been 40 minutes. Banana bread is out of the oven. You want to stick a knife or a fork or a toothpick in, and if it comes out clean like this, it's ready for cutting. Now that your banana bread is done, you want to let it cool in a pan for about 10 minutes, and then you just take it, flip it over, and ta-da! Look how pretty that is. So you can keep this in the fridge. I would definitely suggest putting it in some sort of tight lid container, and this actually can also be wrapped up in tinfoil. It will taste better tomorrow and the next day. The longer you leave it, the better it